Today we're checking out the Baxter Performance Cartridge to Spin-On Oil Filter Adapter for the 2014 and newer 3.6 liter Jeep Wrangler JK and JL. If you're wanting a cleaner, easier oil change and a more reliable and consistent filter setup, this is a smart and functional option that many Jeep owners will appreciate on the first oil change. When it comes to the features, this adapter converts the factory-style cartridge setup to the traditional spin-on filter, which can simplify maintenance and reduce mess that comes with the stock design. This is a great option for DIY owners who do their own oil changes and want a more straightforward and familiar process. The upgrade also adds peace of mind for long-term ownership, especially if you're particular about consistent service intervals and you want a setup that feels more robust for trail and daily use. Day to day, this is one of those quality of life mods that pays off every time you're in the garage and you decide to do an oil change. When it comes to the construction on this, you're getting a precision machined adapter built for a tight seal and reliable oil flow. The finish and the hardware are designed to handle heat cycles and daily use, and the overall piece is meant to bolt on cleanly in place of that factory cartridge housing without any complicated modifications. Now, as far as the pricing goes on this, it's coming in right around that mid $400 price range. For a purpose-built adapter that changes your maintenance experience for the entire life of the Jeep, this is a fair value in my opinion. This is the kind of upgrade that isn't flashy at all, but it's genuinely useful and it can save you frustration year after year. When it comes to the install on this, it's going to get rated a soft 2 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter. You can have this job done in 2 hours or less of your time if everything goes smooth. Now let's see exactly how this install process goes with a quick video from one of our ExtremeTerrain customers.
So when we're taking a look at the tools here, we've got our 1/4" drive ratchet, just an extension. This seemed to work out pretty well for me, like a 6" or 8" extension there. I have a 3/16 and a 5/32 ball end Allen. You can use the regular style like this, but this is what I had. I like these a little bit better. Used a 1" deep socket. This is what we used when we screwed and tightened in the unit into the actual oil cooler itself. I ended up getting my bigger torque wrench out, and then also had an extension there as well, just to be able to get some clearancing. Did use the thumb drive a little bit, just a 1/4" there. Pipe tape, which is critical. I will tell you, you will prevent a lot of pain. So on the 90 degree itself, I used a 9/16. That's what fit around the head, and I was able to spin that on. The 7/16 is what we used to install the Schrader valve, and then the cap required a 3/8. And then what I did use, I used this little guy. It's a Jayco, just Amazon, nothing spectacular. Ultimately, we just need to be able to get 30 PSI into the Schrader valve, which pressurizes the whole unit, which is called for at the very end. All right, so let's start prepping our unit, getting ready for the dry application so we can figure out what hole we're gonna install the 90 degrees on. So first things first, we're gonna put on the small O-ring. That just goes right on here. You just push it on, super easy. Just did that. The other part is we're gonna put on the bigger O-ring. So it just slides over the end, and then we're gonna pull this up into the top. Okay, run your finger down it, it's gonna pop into that top. So I actually made a mistake on the older version, the 101 that I had. And the first time I had it in this groove, which is the top of the threads, and it fits there, but you gotta make sure you get it up into this top groove. They actually put that on the application, the instructions on there, but sometimes that visual piece is definitely helpful. The next part is we take our 5/32 Allen head. You can see our Allen head wrench, and we can see this Allen head in here. Now what this does, hopefully this will show up really well, you can see those gears kind of moving up and down, those threads moving up and down. So this is actually how the system locks into place once we do that final install. And I'm just turning this back and forth, and right now the goal is to make sure that it's aligned with the threads so it goes in there nice and smooth. So we want to do that. We're going to do a dry application first, and that's a very important part. So what I do is I get it aligned, and I just kind of look down the threads. If I can't see it, you're good to go. We are also going to, on the final installs, we're going to make sure we put oil here on the O-rings, and then also this face part right. And so that's going to make sure that we have a tight seal once we're ready to do that final application. Okay, so what we're going to do next is we're going to get our threads here coated with our pipe tape. And like I said before, this isn't actually in the instructions. And this messed me up a little bit when I installed my older version. It doesn't call for it, so I followed the instructions like a good little soldier and did it this way. But what ended up happening is I had a little bit of a leak, and I could not figure it out because I followed the instructions perfectly. And it's just, you know, it's common sense, right? So when we have these types of fittings, you have liquid behind it, we need to make sure we put some tape on here and hold it in. It is tapered a little bit, but I'm telling you, I could not get that thing to stop leaking. We're also going to put a little piece on this set screw as well. This goes in the opposite side, whichever orientation is going to work out for your application, whether it be a Jeep or whatever. They have it set so you can switch this on the left, the 90 degree, or the right, depending on what's going to work best. So I'm just going to put some tape on this one as well and get it prepped and ready to go. So I'm going to stick this guy on, and we're just going to open this up and get this oil cap off and get it ready to go for our installation. So I'm doing some short turns here because I'm going to knock the tripod over. Try to not do that, knock all the light away here. So fairly easy to do. It's a 15/16 socket. I don't think I have that on the little list before, but your application is going to be different depending on what kind of vehicle you have. Right, so this is loose now. So I'm just going to use fingers to get this loose. Always want to make sure I have some rags ready to go, just to catch some of the oil. Shouldn't be too much in here. Nope, that's dripping all over the place. Okay, so I have this. I'm just going to put it in my oil bin down here, and then we'll get ready for the dry installation. What we're doing next is we're going to take our housing. I have the 1-inch deep well socket, and I'm going to do the dry install. So the goal of this, what we're trying to do is we're going to be putting this in here, and we want it to bottom out. And the reason why I wanted to do that is we need to make sure that we understand what side we're going to be putting the pipe applications on here, right? So the 90 degree and then also the Schrader fitting. So what we want to do is we're going to get this seated, and you're going to seat it all the way. Finger tight here. Okay, that's socket on here. This around. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to seat this all the way, and don't go all crazy on here because I don't want to replace another oil filter housing, right? So just go nice and easy, and you'll feel it bottom out, and then we're going to go back. It's a quarter turn, okay? And it's an important piece because this is going to be where we're going to be putting, like I said, that 90 degree fitting and also the plug, and that's going to set up our ability to pressurize the system and try to prevent those dry starts. All right, right there. Okay, so you can see on mine, I can see just a little bit of the labeling on here. Okay, so fantastic for me, so I can see what I got going on in here. I'm gonna back this up a quarter, and I want to be able to see right there. So what I can see now, this may not show up online here on the camera, is right at the edge here. I can see one of the openings, one of the ports. On the other side, just directly across from it, that one's going to be there as well. So what I need to remember is I don't have to put any tape on here or kind of make any markings, but you definitely can. You can put some grease pen or whatever you want to do. But all I know is I'm looking at the label, and I know I'm going to put my Schrader valve on the left because I'm going to have a lot easier time getting to that to pressurize it. I'm going to put my plug on the right because that's got a whole bunch of stuff in there that I'm not going to be able to get into that very, very easily, even when I put my replacement hoses on here for that stuff. Okay, so for me, I'm putting the 90 degree fitting on the left and the plug on the right, and I'll be ready to rock. Next thing what we're doing is we are just basically removing the housing, right? So I actually get a little bit loose already. Oh, not loose enough, I guess. Either that or thing to work out. All right, so I'm just gonna get this loosened back up,
And I'm gonna get it over to the bench again, and that's where I'm going to install my pipe fittings on there, okay? Just spinning this guy out. There we go. Get it out, and I'll get it back over to the bench, and we're gonna install. So for me, I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna install the 90 here and the plug on this side here. Okay, let's go over and do that. So what we're gonna do now is we're going to get our plugs, everything else inserted onto our canister. Okay. So what I'm gonna do first is, like I mentioned, for my setup, it's gonna work best for me to put my plug on the right side here. And so I have my 3/16, and I'm just gonna zip this guy in here. Like I said, I love this little hand wrench thing. Thumb drive works really, really well. So again, basically same application as what I just did when we were doing the dry fit. I'm just gonna get this on here, get it started, and then we are going to get it tightened down, lock in with that Allen head, and you're ready to go. Get some oil on the end there, so I'm getting almost like, you can see some of the clearance on here is really, really small, right? So again, we're just kind of making sure we don't have any clearance issues. Oh, right there, okay. So now I'm gonna back up. Basically exact same thing I had done just a second ago. And I can see on the other side over here, on the right-hand side, I can see where I have that tapered plug. That tells me where I can stop on that side, so I don't have to kind of guess. And then now I'm going to get this plug in on this side. This can be just a little bit tedious because I have to kind of thread this down in there. And I'm left-handed, so I'm trying to not get in the way of the camera here. I'm just getting on this opening. Getting this started. All right, so I got that started on there. It took a little bit longer because, of course, the camera's going, so it's always how that works, right? All right, so I'm going to get this tightened up. This is where these little wrenches are just awesome. I get so impatient. Using that other side. Okay, so like I mentioned before, I'm going to tilt this forward just a little bit. So hopefully you can see that in there. I have the orientation. I'll use the screwdriver here. This is the orientation of how I have it. So it's tilted slightly forward. I'm actually going to go just a hair more because I want my Schrader valve a little bit. So this is the orientation now. So you can see it's sticking forward just a little bit. That's just personal preference. You can kind of do whatever you want. But now what I would do is I'm going to put on this little guy, Schrader valve, stick that right back into where it is supposed to go. You can use a socket on this, which is probably just as easy. I'm trying not to block the camera here, but put this guy on. Going. All right, so off. All right, so that is that's ready to go. So we're gonna be able to put on the filter here now in just a second, and you can see already what kind of challenges we're gonna have with these hoses here. So I'm gonna end up popping this out of the grooves here. I'm gonna take this off right now, and we're gonna get this kind of moved around. So these clips over here on the side are gonna give you a little bit of room here, but it's not much. So when I had the other one on here before, it was pretty tight right in this area. I mean, it is a little bit in the way. Like I said, I'm gonna move these around, but I would like a little bit more room. But popping these out right here gives you a little bit of clearance, makes it just a little bit easier. You just gotta make sure you get these things seated back in there once you get done. A really important step when we're at this spot. So we have it seated down into the oil cooler housing. It's down in there all the way. We bottomed it out, went back a quarter turn, lined up our fittings. And so now we need to take our 5/32 Allen wrench here, and we need to adjust those splines in here, those threads. And what you're gonna feel is as you're turning clockwise, that's gonna lock in those teeth and really engage on the oil filter housing, right? So again, those teeth are moving slightly like that in setting that lock in place there. And so this housing, the spin-on housing won't come off now. So it's a really important step that you do not forget. Otherwise that thing is just in there, just a little bit past finger tight, right? So this is a finely machined piece here, so it's going to slide in, fairly easy. So what I'm going to be using with the Jeep here is a M212A Mobile 1 filter. I actually didn't know this, and it was just kind of me not paying attention, but even on the other housing, on the old Baxter that I had, the 101, it uses the same exact oil filter. So, I mean, which kind of makes sense, but I was really didn't even pay attention to that detail, so until I was looking for a filter. All right, so let's get the foil off here first, or not the foil, but the little wrapper, and I'm going to put a little bit of oil on here. I guess I'll give you a little bit more. Just wiped it on that oil filter, so I'm going to get a little oil, stick it right here. Good to go. All right, so we're just going to spin this on, and you're going to see some of that contact area right here that I was talking about. I'm just going to move these out of the way for right now. Kind of unclip this stuff just so I can get this guy on here and be ready to get this. So I'll just kind of set this up high. I don't want to put too much stress on it, but I want to get it out of the way. Okay. So let's get our filter on. Love it. Again, I'm just getting it on here good and tight like that. Retouch these guys. So when I had to do this before, I'll show you what I did. So this guy's gonna go back in that bottom groove here. Would help if I got this tube on there first. Okay. So it kind of stuck out last time. I was doing the same thing it was before. It's just tight enough. It's in there. I wanted in there more, so that's why I'm going to do that tube, like what I had seen. Pop that guy back in, pop this in, and then with this guy, it kind of sits on top. It's at a little bit of pressure though, and again, I don't like that pressure that's sitting on there. So you can't really see it, but since the tube has a little bit of an angle on here now where it was going in straight, it's pushing up against the manifolds here in the intake. So I don't want that there. That's why I'm going to change that. Probably overkill. You don't need to do that. They don't call for the instructions, but yeah. So next what we're going to do, my compressor is insanely loud, so I'm not even going to turn that on. But all we're going to do is we're going to take that housing right here. We're going to get this back off, and what we do is it opens up the Schrader valve, which is just like a bicycle valve. Think back in your old school bike. So we're going to open this cap up. I'm trying not to drop it down in there. I want to go fishing. All right, took the cap off. I'm just going to set it here so I don't lose it. And all we do is once we have our compressor up to pressure, you only have to put in 30 psi, and you hook this valve right on the edge of that. And then all you're doing is you're just measuring the pressure, right? So I want to put in 30 psi on here. And so once I get up to 30 psi, I just pull it off and you're good to go. And that's what helps keep that oil up in the top end of the engine and reduce those dry starts. And I actually think this makes the oil changes so much easier. I love dealing with these instead of the goofy housings we have on Jeeps. I did install a Fumoto quick drain on the bottom too. I think that's a great little add. Didn't know anything about that until I started researching these. So this is a great little option. Makes your oil changes a lot easier as well. And I know I'm splitting hairs on there, but I do think there's always a debate on these. You know, is it worth it? Is it not? And you know, the way I look at it is this: if I can increase 2-3% life in less wear on the engine, I'm always game for that. I think you're playing the long game with some of this stuff, and this is definitely one of those that I would recommend, just to try to have that peace of mind, but also to try to reduce some of the wear on the top of your engine, right? And keep the oil where it's supposed to be. So great little ad. That's basically it. You actually can see too, I do have the sticker up here. This is an important piece, is because if you ever take this in, I know a lot of Jeepers do their own oil and everything, but if you ever take this in to get your oil changed, they need to understand that when they look up 2013 Jeep, they're like, hey, this isn't what you're supposed to have. And they may be swapping the wrong parts out. And so these are going to be really important. They can scan this and they can see all the steps of what they need to do. Then they know they need to pressurize it as well. So it makes it really nice and really easy. So make sure this is displayed somewhere where everyone can see it. And it's just a good reminder for yourself as well, to make sure that you get the right parts and you are prepared in the future. Okay, so that's it. That's a wrap. Talked a lot more than what's needed. The talk and sitting at the camera is way more than what it takes to install this. Fairly easy, straightforward to install. Hopefully this is helpful and you're able to learn something from it as well, which I learned from some of my peers on reviewing this. And yeah, it's a great product. Definitely recommend it. 2 thumbs up.
That's going to wrap up our review and install of the Baxter Performance Cartridge to Spin-On Oil Filter Adapter for the 2014 and newer 3.6 liter Jeep Wrangler JK and JL. And for all things Jeep, keep it right here at Extreme Terrain.